Hello, everyone. Welcome. Thanks for joining today. I really appreciate you all being on and joining the guided improvisation for laughter, fun, and creativity session. Yay! So glad you said yes and to this session. And I'm going to introduce myself real quick. And if you could just put yourself on mute for the time being, I'll mute some of you, but you will get a chance to unmute, and the idea is you'll get to meet each other too. So, quick introduction. My name is Dayna Gowan. I am a presenter, speaker, and I like to call myself a facilitator of fun because I love having fun.
Some of these are really cute.
And I feel like we don't get to have fun on Zoom enough, especially at conferences. Conferences are can be busy. You might be trying to multitask a little bit, but I have to tell you that this will be a non-multitasking session. I need your full attention for this, and I think you'll enjoy it. A few ground rules here. This is a high participatory session, and I did put these ground rules in the chat too. You should see them, but this is a high participation session. So I am going to send you all into breakout rooms, and the idea is you can meet some of your conference attendees. And the idea is if you can put your video on, if you have that capability, please put your video on during the breakout sessions so that you can see each other and talk with each other. If you don't have that capability, that's okay. Just let the people in your breakout sessions know that. And that's when you can unmute and chat with each other. Other ground rules here. Don't overthink it. I'm going to ask you to do a lot of interesting things today and nothing out of the realm of craziness, but it might get, I'm challenging you. I'm challenging you to be creative and have fun and kind of think of things on the spot. So don't overthink it. You don't have to be funny. If you know improv, or if you've heard of improv or watched improv, it's usually very humorous. But today, you don't have to worry about being funny. The funny will come. Don't force it. So don't overthink it. Say the first thing that comes to your mind and just let that go. Let it go, let it be. That's what you said, and that is what it is. Now, number 3, keep it work appropriate. Of course, I know you're on a conference and you may not know each other, but of course, keep it safe for work. I don't have any worries that we'll have any issues, but I just want to say that ahead of time. And last but not least,
lay down.
Last but not least, I want you to have fun and enjoy yourself. This is the most important thing. Have fun today, enjoy yourself, meet some new people, and really challenge yourself and get creative today. All right, sound good? You can post in the chat. I have that up so I can see if anyone posts. Feel free to post questions at any time. I will allow some questions at the end, but the idea is we're just going to get started, and we're going to do a lot of exercises. The first half will be icebreaker exercises where I'm going to send you into breakout rooms. I'll give you different things to talk about, and then we'll come back, and then I'll ask for some volunteers to do some improv exercises. And quick background, I've been doing improv for a few years now, and I have to tell you, it is such a game changer. Oh my God, it's such a game changer. It has changed my life in my personal life, professional life. I used to be really scared to be put on the spot. I needed to prep ahead of time. And now I'm so comfortable and have so much fun, just getting asked questions. Like I love Q&A now, and I never used to. And I thank improv for that. So hopefully you'll learn some new skills today and see how this can apply to your personal and professional life. And we'll have fun along the way. Okay, so that's it for intros and ground rules. Let's get started. Our first task, I'm going to send you into breakout rooms of about 4 or 5 in there. And your task, then again, please turn on your video and your audio when you're in the breakout room. Your task is to find at least one thing that you have in common. Now, I think most of you are in the San Diego area. If not, that's cool. That's great too. But let's not make the common thing that you're in the same area. All right, find something else that you have in common. All right, I know you can do it. So let me get the breakout room set up real quick. We have 20 people. Let's see, let me do room of 5. You'll have 4 minutes and then it'll give you a little notification that the rooms are closing. All right, and away we go. Have fun, find something you have in common, kudos, and bonus points if you can find more than one thing. And pick someone to share real quick what those common things are when we get back. All right, see you in 4 minutes. And you'll have to click the join button if you can. It should show up on your screen. Let's see, I'm going to move some of you to rooms here. I think some of you just joined, so I'm sending you all to breakout rooms to find something you have in common. All right, and please click that join button if you can. Should show up on your screen. You'll have to click that join button. And if you're having any issues, you can put that in the chat, or if you're not comfortable joining the breakout rooms, I completely understand. Hi, Debbie, welcome. We are in breakout rooms right now, but they're coming back in a few seconds, so you can join the next group when we do breakout rooms. Welcome back, everyone. I hope you got to meet some new people. Got 5 seconds left and then everyone will be coming back. All right, I think everyone's back now. How was that? Good? Got to meet some new people. So let's hear from our groups what you have in common. So room one, that was Anne, Kathia, Maxwell. What do you all have in common?
We all work for the county.
Excellent. Anything else?
Not really. That's as far as we got.
All right, no, that's good.
Two of us are parents, one of us is not, and I don't know about pets.
Okay, no, that's good. Okay, so we got some County of SD folks on here. Excellent, thanks for joining. Group three, that was Claudia, Jenny, Kelly, Nina.
I'll take that one. Nina and I were the only two who actually made it into the room and talked. So we had it in common that we were sitting there by ourselves for a little while, wondering if anybody was going to join us. But we discovered that we both worked at home long-term during the pandemic, and we each have 2 dogs that wander in and out from office to office.
Excellent, love it. Yes, pets have really helped get us through this time now. Awesome. And then group, let's see, group 5, that was Mia or Catherine, Zach, Mia. I don't know if everyone joined or not.
Yes, Mia and myself both watched football and played football. Catherine did not have audio, but.
Oh yeah, that's okay. Great. Both played football. Wonderful. Wonderful. So that exercise is just designed to get us up and talking, using our videos, meeting each other a little bit. County folks, hopefully you got to meet each other, or if you already knew each other, you got to have a little chat too. What I'll do with these breakout rooms is I will set the option where it automatically moves. If you don't have audio, then you can use in the chat. I think that could be a good way to do it. That way you're not sitting in a room by yourself. But if you are, you can come back and I'll assign you. Okay, so this next assignment, what we're going to do is you're going to be put in pairs, and your ID, what you have to share is how you got your name, why your parents named you your name. And if you come from a long line of Johns and that's why you got your name, that's it. If there's no story behind your name, that's your story too. So whatever your story is behind your name, just share that with your partner that's in the breakout room, okay? I'm gonna open those up in just a second, and you'll have 2 minutes, and then the rooms will close in 15 seconds after. And some may have a room of 3, that's okay too. Excellent, I'll see you in 2 minutes. Great. Welcome back, everyone. Let's see. I'm gonna just
DBRT, this is Mia.
There you go. So how was that? Did everyone have a partner in the room that was able to participate? No, sorry, Jenny. Okay. I'll get you moved again next time. So then, does anyone want to share how they got their name? Anyone have a good story?
I can go, Dayna, because
Yeah.
I didn't get a chance to share with my partner, but I heard her story. But when I was born, my mom named me Gael, and nobody could pronounce that name when I came to this country. So I changed it to Max when I was about 8 years old, because I figured everybody could pronounce Max, and that was a real easy name. So it was part of my assimilation story, and I went with that.
Excellent. Wow. Thank you for
How do you
sharing.
spell that? I'm sorry, this is Anne.
Thank you for
it
sharing.
Gael, Gael.
Gael.
Okay. Gael. Thank you.
Yeah, that's a nice name.
Yeah, I regret it now. I like it now, but when you're 8.
Yeah, I know that's tough. All right, so why don't the breakout room thing's kind of getting a little tough, just because some people don't have audio. So actually, we're just going to do a quick share now with this next exercise. Same thing. However, you have to make up a reason why you have your name. So make up the story behind your name and real quick share, like just maybe 10 seconds or like one sentence or so, how you got your name. And I want to just remind you, if you don't have audio or your audio is not working, you can post in the feed loop chat and we'll see it there. So I'll go first. Reason behind my name is my mom saw the name and the spelling at a baseball game. It was Dayna's birthday, and she's like, I really like that spelling. I'm going to use it. But my made up name or reason is I was born in the daytime, hence the Dayna. And I really was born in the daytime, but that's not the reason for the spelling. So Max, I'm going to put you on the spot here. What's a made up story behind your name?
All right, well, there was a film that came out. It was called Gladiator, and the main character's name was Maximus, and I was really impressed with his heroic prowess, so I just went ahead and took his name.
Oh, very nice. Zach, what's your reason? What's your made up story?
I knew you were going to call on me, and I'm like ferociously. My parents had a dog before they had a child, and its name was Zachary, and so they just decided to name it Zachary so they could continue the legacy.
I bet that was really confusing for the dog too. Right. Always thought I was getting treats, but never did. Jenny, what's the made up story behind your name?
I come from a long line of Jennifers, generation after generation of women named Jennifer. So I am Jennifer Burnett VI.
Excellent. Love it. It sounds like royalty there. Let's see. Nina, what's the story behind your name?
So my parents were actually immigrating here while I was born. And since we were on a boat, my parents had heard about like Christopher Columbus and Nina Pinta Santa Maria. And so they're like, let's just go with Nina because of the whole boat thing.
Love it. Yes. Good story there. And for anyone else, if you'd like to unmute and share, Anne, if you're able to unmute, or anyone else, if you'd like to share. Yeah, go ahead, Anne.
Okay, so Anne is my nickname because I don't know if anyone knows me from the participant list, but yeah, so Anne is my nickname. My full name is Anique. It's a French name. So I always thought it would be cool to change the spelling of it because it's actually Annick. And during the breakout, I told my partner that it was coined because my parents are devout Catholics, and my mom's favorite saint is Saint Anthony. And then she just used the first letter of the saint's name with my dad's last 3 letters of his name, which is Yorick. So that's the story behind it. But in terms of the fun part, I kind of wish they spelled it different. Like Anique, a root of unique. So that way they thought I was a unique baby coming out. So it would have spelled Anique, which is Anique. So that would have been a better version of my name.
Yes, love it. Well, there's still time, you know. Maxwell changed his name, so you can always change the spelling there if you wanted to. But I do love St. Anthony, the patron saint of lost things. I am always losing my mind, so St. Anthony helps me find it for sure. Okay, let's go on to the next exercise. And again, we're just gonna stay in the main room since we're having issues with the breakout rooms. If you are able to share, feel free to raise your hand if your video is not on. You can raise your hand if that's an option, or let me know in the chat and I'll call on you. Here's what we're going to do. We are going to practice yes-anding. If you've heard of improv before, you probably know the term yes and. And the idea for yes and is that it's not always agreement, because we don't have to be yes man like Jim Carrey's movie. We don't always have to say yes. But the idea behind yes and is that you're acknowledging the story, the reality, whatever's being said, and you're adding to it. It's a great brainstorming tool, and we're going to try it today. So what I'm going to do, and we're going to follow, let's see if we can follow my order. So how it is, the order will go Max, Zach, Jenny, Nina, and then if anyone else wants to go, let me know. Otherwise, I'm going to assume you're not able to participate if you can't, if your audio is not working or not. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with a mundane saying, like maybe I went to the store today, and then Max might say, yes, and we got a big turkey. And then Zach might say, yes, and the turkey was so big, it filled up the whole trunk of the car. And then Jenny might say, yes, and it weighed down the car so much that I drove 5 miles slower. All right, so we're just adding to the story. I got really focused on the turkey there. You don't have to focus on that one thing. You can add to it and say, and we saw Brad Pitt at the store buying turkeys too. Like, it could be whatever you want, whatever comes to your mind. Don't overthink it, just say it, okay? All right, so I went to the beach today.
Yes, and I think I got a sunburn.
Because I only used Crisco.
No.
Yes, and the Crisco was just greasy because I had brought it in a giant tub.
Nina, you can go.
Yeah, yes. And as I was walking around with the tub, it spilled all over the beach. And I'll pass it on to the next person.
Anne, are you able to add to it?
Yes, and I bumped into an old pal of mine.
Yes, and we hugged and connected over Facebook, and we ended up getting coffee at the beach cafe the next day. What a wonderful story, right? And it all just started with the beach. A bit of a nightmare for pale people like me, and also the beach with all the Crisco going out there. Let's do that one more time. That was great. No, it was great. Great adding, great yes-anding there. All right. Max, you want to start us off with a mundane statement, everyday statement?
Just the other day, I was walking to the post office.
And along the way, I tripped on a turtle that was on the sidewalk.
Yes, and that turtle was gigantic and it ran out into the street.
Oh no, what? Oh, shoot. I'm so sorry about that. I don't know. The breakout room's just like, it got really.
And Jay-Z helped me up.
Yeah.
The turtle.
Okay, yeah, just to recap, because everyone got put into breakout rooms because the breakout rooms just really wanted to do this story, I think. Let me close that. So a giant turtle ran in the street and Jay-Z helped to pick it up. Excellent. Nina, do you have anything to yes and to that?
Sure. And as I was getting up, the turtle started to apologize. And so that helped me feel a lot better. And then the turtle offered to pass it on.
Anne, are you able to add to that?
And yes, he told me he would be my spirit animal.
Anyone else able to? I think Clarence, you might have joined later. No worries. Yes, and that spirit animal helped guide me through my Thanksgiving with my crazy family, and I made it through okay. The end. Excellent. Good job, everyone. So do you kind of get the feel of yes and now? It's literally just saying, yes, we were at the beach. Yes, we saw a giant turtle. Yes, we were at the store. And then this happened. So it is literally just saying, yes, I acknowledge that this is going on and I can add to it. It is a great brainstorming tool. Use it with your teams too, like if you have some like a brainstorming session, because how many times do we go, oh, what should we do? And someone says an idea and then you're like, no, that won't work. Or someone else says, no, that won't work. And then it shuts people down. Or if you're like me, you have ideas and you say it in your head and then your mind goes, no, that won't work. That's stupid. I know but myself all the time. And if I had a yes and mindset, I would accomplish a lot more actually. So yes and mindset is such a game changer. So keep that yes and mindset as we go into our next game. And let's see, we're gonna follow host's order here.
And Dayna, breakout rooms are available now if you want to use them.
Thank you. Yeah, we are done with the breakout rooms, so we're good now. We won't be going into that. Thank you, though. Let's see. All right. So our next exercise that we're going to do, we're going to stay in here and we're going to do the same thing, except we're going to create a story. So we kind of did that with yes and, but let's make it even bigger. Let's get a bigger story going here. And it doesn't have to involve space cowboys and cat lasers, but if we get to that, cool. If it's more like we stayed at the store and had Thanksgiving, great as well. What I'll do is I'll start off the story and then we'll follow in this order. So I've got Zach, Jenny, Max, Nina, and Anita. I haven't heard anyone else participate, but if you'd like to, please let me know. Or if you turn your video on, I'll assume you want to participate in this. And I will add you to the order. Okay, let's see. All right, so let me give you a suggestion. There's a handy dandy, and it's let me turn the brightness up. There's a handy dandy app called canigeta.com. So this is all random. Can I get a word? Lightning. Lightning is our word for our story and how we start it. So again, just add like 1 to 2 sentences and then the next person will take over. So, Nancy, I'm going to add you to the story game if you don't mind. You'll be after Anita. All right. It was a dark and stormy night. The wind was howling and the rain was blowing sideways. It was raining cats and dogs, and there was lightning everywhere. It was just hitting everywhere on the field.
Me, right?
Yes.
And the lightning was so amazing. It was lighting up the sky. So I was outside watching it and you could see the colors from everywhere. And then one of the lightning strikes came down and struck my foot.
Oh.
And that wasn't the worst part. I was hopping up and down after being struck. And in the next bolt of lightning, I see a huge horde of people coming toward me across the field.
Oh no.
I couldn't tell if the people. Oh, is it my turn? Or was
go ahead, Nina.
Max's?
Max will go after.
Okay,
all good.
sorry.
All good.
I couldn't tell if the people were coming to help me or eat me. So all of a sudden, I became very frightened and started crawling as quickly as I could to get away.
Max, your turn.
And as I'm crawling away, I'm going through my mental checklist of how to survive a zombie apocalypse. And I try to remember whether or not I have functional clothing on and appropriate footwear. And I just keep plucking away, and I keep feeling that the people behind me are getting closer.
Oh no. Anne, can you add to that?
So I just continue to run, and I'm thinking my lucky star is that I was a track star at high school, so I'm really running as fast as I can. And when I look back, I feel like I've gained some momentum and lost them.
Anita, are you able to add to it? It's okay, you can say pass or we can skip. Yeah, Nancy, can you add to it?
And as I kept running and running, I ran into the house and I laid down on the sofa. And the next thing I knew, I opened up my eyes and I realized it was all a dream.
The end. Excellent. I love that. We had cannibals or maybe zombies and a haunted house, possibly, and lightning strikes. It had it all, right? Let's do that one more time. That was super fun. I'm going to change up the order, though, here. All right. Can you all see that order? So it goes Jenny, Nancy, Max, Zach, and Nina. And Nina, I love that you jumped ahead because guess what? That keeps us on our toes because this is a game of listening skills. We have to listen and be present. Otherwise, we don't hear what's being said and we can't yes and it. And sometimes we get in our heads going, okay, Jenny said this, this is what I'm going to say next. And then all of a sudden Nina jumps in and adds her thing and then it changes. And we're like, okay, well, yes, and I'm going to add to what Nina said. So I love that. That was a great practice for us. And I didn't even tell her to do that either. It just worked out perfectly. Okay, our suggestion is beans. Beans. Would anyone like to start this one? Yeah, go ahead, Jenny.
I'll start because you listed my name first. So as I looked through my pantry, I found this old bag of beans. I must have bought it years ago, just kind of in case of emergency, because who buys dry beans? But these beans had really changed color. And now there were beans of all sorts of colors, and some of them had started to sprout.
Nancy, can you add to that?
So I took them outside and I got the shovel and I decided to plant them to see what would become of them. So I planted some red ones over here, some black ones over there, and some green ones underneath the tree.
Max?
I studied those beans for many days to see what would actually grow. And I was quite shocked to see when the actual plant started coming in, it took the shape of.
Ooh, cliffhanger. The shape of what, Zach?
It took the shape of a sunflower. I know you thought we were going to say a beanstalk, but it was not a beanstalk. It was a sunflower. And they grew in these gigantic, huge 5-foot sunflowers that started to grow sunflower seeds. And I love sunflower seeds. So I started to pick them and eat them. But just then.
Anne, can you add to that?
I had a brilliant idea. Maybe I could have my own business and sell these beautiful sunflower seeds. Yeah, so maybe this will be my multi-million-dollar chance to make it.
Nina?
So I took the sunflower seeds to the bank to try and get a loan to start my business. And initially the bank was just like, you don't need a loan for sunflower seeds. But when I went to bite into it to crack it showed that there were actually little pearls that were growing inside the sunflower seeds. And so the bank was on board. They gave me a huge loan, and I was able to get my business started.
And with my business, I made $2 million in the first year selling the pearls from sunflower seeds from the beans that I grew or that I planted in the ground. And people used it to make jewelry and decorations. And my business is absolutely booming thanks to those multicolor beans. The end. I love that turned into a business opportunity. If anyone has any multicolor beans, yes, and that, let's plant them and see what happens. And Zach, love that you took it in a different direction, because was sunflower the first thing that came to your mind?
No, of course beanstalk did.
Yeah, so was sunflower the second thing?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, love it. Great. And no, if you said beanstalk, we would have said, yeah, and a beanstalk grew and something was on the other end of the beanstalk, maybe a giant, maybe a lion. We would have gone that direction. But whenever you're stuck in a situation, you can always just yes and it. And I want to be clear, certainly if you're in a situation at work, you don't want to say, yeah, and like if you don't know the answer, certainly say, I don't know. But yes and can just keep the conversation going, and it can just keep our minds going. Once we say no, it kind of puts a damper on things. And again, you don't have to be a yes man. You can say no when you need to, but having that yes and mindset really opens up opportunities to explore more. And sometimes the answer's in the fourth or fifth and, right? Because we found a business venture along the way, about 1, 2, 3, 4 at the fifth and with Anne, excuse me, and made it a business venture, all because we said yes and to it. So great job, everyone. Great listening skills there, and great job saying yes and. Okay, I've got another exercise for us to do here, and I need 3 volunteers. 3 volunteers. I'm not going to tell you what you're doing yet. Yes, Jenny. Nina, we need 1 more. Say yes and. Max looks like he wants to raise his hand. Yeah. So we got Jenny, Nina, and Max. Wonderful. Okay. Everyone else can turn off your cameras just so we see our advice panel. That's what you all are today. We are going to pretend we are on a radio show, and we have this advice panel. Now, this expert advice panel that is here today to answer all our burning questions. So I'll be the radio host, and then we'll have callers call in. So callers, that's you, Zach, Ann, Nancy, anyone else listening who's just kind of joined and going, what are you all doing? You are callers on this radio show, and you can ask questions in the feed loop chat and have our advice panel answer it. Okay. And Zach, go ahead and turn off your video if you can, just so we see the 3 advice panelists. All right, so here's the order. Jenny, you are going to give good advice. Nina, you're going to give bad advice. And Max, you're going to give downright ugly advice. I mean, just the worst advice possible. Okay. All right, let's get this show on the road. Welcome everyone to 100.7 Big FM. Usually we play alternative radio music, but today we're doing something a little extra special for you all. Cut the music today. We have questions that need to be answered, and we have our best advice panelists here. They are experts in their field, and they are here to give advice for all your burning questions. So go ahead and put your questions in the chat, aka call in to 100.7 Big FM, and we will get those questions answered for you. And I have a question first from Marie in Point Loma, and Marie asks, Well, this is more of a statement, but Marie asks, I hate daylight savings time. I get so down and tired and I don't work out like I'm supposed to. What can I do to feel better? Jenny, what advice do you have for Marie for feeling better during these short daylight hours?
Daylight savings time can be really hard for people. So I suggest that you either get up a little bit earlier so you get more of that sunshine, or you might want to invest in a sun lamp. An hour a day of a sun lamp can really build mood.
That's a great question, or that's a great answer, Jenny. Marie, get yourself a sun lamp. Build that mood up. It'll be great. Nina, what advice do you have for caller Marie?
Marie, I would actually suggest to just listen to your body. And so if you decide that during daylight savings, you kind of want to be like a grizzly bear and hibernate, I say just do that. I mean, hopefully you've been planning and gorging, and I just prefer typically to sleep throughout the whole winter. I don't work, I don't get up, I don't go anywhere. I'll just stay home and take it easy. And I think that's the way to go.
Take it easy, Marie. Listen to your body. Become a bear. That's all you have to do. Great advice, Nina. All right, and Max, what advice do you have for caller Marie?
So I suggest you go down to a very seedy alley in middle of the night Los Angeles, and you look for a shady individual that probably is clad in leather. And what you want to say is, are you a vampire? And encourage that person to bite you, because then the whole concept of time and daylight savings won't even be an issue for you. So that's what I suggest.
Yeah, Marie, either you can become a bear, you can become a vampire, you can become whatever you want. But what the most important thing is that you listen to your body and you do what you want. Do what you want, Marie. Call us back and let us know how that goes. Excellent. Great advice. Give a round of applause to our advice panel. All right, now we're going to do that again. Let's switch the order up, though. So Nina, you are going to give good advice. And then Max, you're going to give bad advice. And Jenny, you're going to give downright ugly advice. Okay. And we actually have a caller now, caller Nancy, calling in from San Diego. And caller Nancy asked, I just moved to San Diego. Awesome. Great place to move to. Nancy, what are the best places to visit to really know the area? Oh, love this question. Nina, what advice do you have for caller Nancy?
Nancy, I suggest just starting with one neighborhood. That's what I do. I'll go to one neighborhood and just spend the whole day there, fully immersing myself, walking around, looking at houses, checking out small businesses, and just really getting a feel like within that weekend, one neighborhood at a time. And that really helped me get acquainted with the different areas within the county and feel like I got a good sense of each neighborhood and each area. So I would suggest just going, looking at a map and each weekend spending your time in a different neighborhood to explore.
Excellent, Nina. Great answer. Go neighborhood hopping. Nancy, it's a great way to check out places, really cool places and restaurants. And then Max, what advice do you have for caller Nancy?
Well, anytime you move to a new place, you want to get to know the correctional facilities in the area. So I definitely take a tour of the jails, get to know what's out there, kind of get a sense of what the census is of the criminal activity in your neighborhood, because you always want to be prepared.
Yes, and Max is our resident dark alley expert. He's all about like the dark and weird things, if you haven't noticed already. But we're grateful to have him because he knows it all. He's such an expert in this field. So thank you, Max, for that answer. Nancy, go check out the jails and see what's going on. Maybe they have festivals and stuff. There's rodeos in Louisiana, so there's possibly something at the jails. Check them out and see. And Jenny, what advice do you have for caller Nancy?
It's really important when you move to a new place to understand your physical environment. So I really recommend we have a wonderful tour of waste and dumps. And so I really recommend that you get yourself on this tour. It will take you to the pipelines that lead out to the ocean where waste really trickles out, or after rainstorms gushes. You can definitely get a tour of the dump. And there are some reclamation programs that really allow you to get that hands-on experience of sorting through that trash and waste and dumps. You really can't know your neighborhood until you understand the toxic environment.
Absolutely, Jenny. Spot on. Nancy, skip the breweries and the fancy restaurants. Go where it matters most. The dark alleys, the jails, the recycling places, the waste management. Really see how they are cleaning up your neighborhood, because that is the most important. Nancy, go check out those options. Let us know how it goes at our next session. And with that, that is it for our expert panel today. It was a short segment. We've got to get back to the alternative music, but give a round of applause to our expert panelists today. Great job. Wonderful. Good job, everyone. How did that feel, advice panelists? How'd you do? I mean, you did excellent. How did you feel? Yeah.
It was pretty good. I mean, the idea that it was easy to give good advice and the questions were, easy enough that you didn't worry too much. And then the more you started thinking about the bad advice, you could go in all sorts of directions, right? So it didn't feel too pressured.
Yeah. And it's a good example of listening skills, saying yes and also thinking quickly too on your feet. Because, when I hear these questions, I'm like, oh my gosh, how am I going to answer that? But how the good person answers it really dictates how you're going to respond for the bad and ugly advice, right? So you can't really think too far ahead, because they may say something that's actually, it's good, but it's like kind of heightened, and then you've got to heighten even more. So it's a really good example of listening skills and not being nervous about being put on the spot. Just say whatever comes to your mind first. And you all did a great job at that. Woohoo. All right, I'm going to do one more exercise super quick. We are going to play Day at the Museum. And how Day at the Museum works is I need 2 volunteers, preferably maybe our advice panelists. If 2 of you want to go, you don't have to speak in this. So I just need 2 of you. Okay, we got Max and Jenny. Excellent. All right, so Max and Jenny, here's what you're going to do. Look around your room, find something that you can grab, and then you're going to be an exhibit in the museum. So when I say, and let's go to exhibit 1, Max, you'll turn on your camera and you will hold that position, or you might be a moving exhibit, whatever you want. But with that, whatever item you're holding, you're the exhibit. Okay, so you can stay on mute. You'll just have to turn your video on when cued. And then we'll talk about the exhibit a little bit, and then we'll say, let's go to exhibit 2. And Jenny, you'll turn on your camera and you'll be exhibit 2 with your item that you're holding. Feel free to get creative, pose in a weird way. You might have to hold it for a little bit, so just make sure it's a pose you can hold. Okay, so go find your items. And then if someone could put in the chat what museum we're going to. It could be Art Museum, History Museum, San Diego Museum. What museum should we go to? And while we're doing that, I need at least 1 tour guide. I will do it. I can do it with you if you want, or we can have 2 tour guides go. So 1 to 2 tour guides. Zach, Nancy, any of you up for that? Being a tour guide of this art museum? Or the Getty Museum? Yeah, Zach. Okay, Zach is our tour guide. Nina, go ahead and turn your video off. Unless, would you like to be a tour guide in the Getty Museum? Yeah, come on.
You want backup? I can be your backup.
Okay, yeah, Nina, you're my backup. Add
partner.
to it as you feel needed. Okay.
You said I don't have to speak though, right?
You do have to speak because I tricked you. I tricked you.
I thought
and
that
that's
was
all
part of
right.
it.
You're in it now. You're in it
Okay.
now.
All right.
We are going to, we're going to introduce the exhibits. We're going to talk about them real quick, just where they came from, what's the history behind them, anything we need to know about these exhibits. We're just going to make it up. Okay. All right. So I'll start and then I'll cue the exhibit. So welcome everyone to the Getty Museum tour. I'm so excited that you're here today to experience the wonderful exhibits. The Getty really curates everything from art to history to space, and we're just so delighted you're here. I'm your tour guide, Dayna Gowan, and I just love art and I love talking about it. Zach, please introduce yourself.
Hello, everyone. My name is Zach Hansen, and I've been a tour guide here at the Getty Museum for 42 years. Yes, I know I look young, but that's just what comes with being in a museum all the time. I just really enjoy the paintings and the sculptures. I don't really like the art, but I do enjoy that portion of it, and I love animals.
Wonderful. Yeah, Zach is so experienced with his 42 years. And Nina is our backup tour guide. Nina, you want to introduce yourself?
Hi, everyone. I'm Nina Gatan, and I'm a backup tour guide. This is actually my second week on the job. And so I haven't quite made it through all the museum exhibits yet, and I'm still kind of getting a feel for everything. But I will add that there's like a secret little compartment space within the museum that I just discovered, and I can't wait to show it to you all.
Oh my gosh. Love having Nina here. She's doing so great in her 2 weeks. Let's show you all the great exhibits that we have. Let's see exhibit 1, shall we? Exhibit 1 is coming up. Here it is. I'm adding it to the spotlight. Oh my goodness. Exhibit 1. This is actually from prehistoric times to the cavemen used to make holders for their knives and weapons and such. And they would kind of mold it after little bugs that were in the area. And they would have these all around their huts and caves. And it was just such a good way to organize their weapon collection. Zach, do you want to speak more to that?
You bet. And who knew that historically these little bugs wore blue overalls and glasses? It was these bugs are these amazing space bugs that came, and they're extinct now, so you wouldn't even know what they were. But yes, Nina, what's your take on this amazing sculpture species of bug?
I was gonna say that device that she just pulled out, it not only is used to help keep the bugs clean, but it also is a key that can be used to unlock a room within the museum. Not very many people know about it, but the security guard had told me about that.
Yeah, Nina has been finding all the good hiding spots. So we ask that you don't touch the exhibits, but maybe Nina can use that key later and let us into this secret hiding spot. Okay, don't touch the exhibits though. That's the main thing. Yeah, that's exhibit 1. Give it up for exhibit 1. Now let's move on to exhibit 2. Let me spotlight here. Oh my goodness. Zach, you've been here longer than I have. Do you want to start this one?
Sure. This is a prehistoric caricature that looks like it's still in its original box, which means that it must be worth millions of dollars. If you guys do not know, Marvel was this long time amazing video production company that created all of these uh, imaginative characters that people really got into. And you actually had to stay after the movie for about an hour just to watch these extra previews that Marvel always put on the end of their movies, which was the worst part of it for me in my 42 years. But at the museum now, we actually have these in their original plastic. And Dayna, go ahead, I'll let you continue with
Yeah,
that.
and the story behind it is that a prehistoric caveman guy actually bit into a mammoth and a green mammoth, and he actually became this like huge mammoth looking superhero guy, and that was what this was based off of. Now the story's evolved since then, but that is the origin story actually. So watch out for those green mammoths. Nina, really quick, anything else to add? Any
Yeah,
secrets to
I
this one?
believe inside in the container there is a packaging of a mammoth tooth inside. I don't know if we flip it around if people will be able to see that. Oh yeah, right there. No. Yeah, and so that just shows that the connection between the green goblin thingy and the mammoth.
Excellent. Nina, you are learning so much. Stick with Zach. He's got so much experience. And guys, this is our prehistoric section. We're going to move on to the art section in a little bit. But thank you all for joining at this Getty Museum exhibit. Give our tour guides a round of applause. And our exhibits. Wonderful job. Let me remove these spotlights. We are wrapping up here. Really want to thank all of you for joining today, saying yes and to this session. I want to show you real quick. I did put this in your items, in your files. So let me just share this with you. Can you all see this document, the Google slide?
Doesn't look like there's anything on that.
Oh, let me share again.
Oh,
Sorry about
now we see it.
There you see it. Okay, excellent. Let me present this real quick. This is in your files. We already talked about this, but today you used yes and, you used listening skills. You thought very quickly on your feet and did an excellent job at it. And you were so creative. And that is so much what we need in our personal lives. And that can help in our professional lives too. I hope you had other takeaways that you can fill in these open sections, but take what you learned here, have a yes and mindset when you need it and can use it, and go out and use it in your life. And I know we're getting close to time. Let me just share. I do have a survey that I would love to hear your feedback on. Thank you for saying yes and doing this in a conference session. Really appreciate that. I know it's weird in a conference session too. You all might not know each other. Usually I do this for like teams and stuff who know each other, but you all did a great job saying yes and going with it. And I'm so proud of you. And I hope you had a lot of fun too with it. So kudos to you all. Round of applause for everyone who joined and was like, what am I watching? I hope you enjoyed watching it too. And take the survey, let me know what you think. My contact information is on there. And reach out if you want to talk improv. I love talking improv. San Diego has some excellent improv theaters. You can take classes there too. I don't have a tie to any of them, but check it out if you're looking for another creative outlet. But thank you all. Have a great rest of the day, a great rest of the conference.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.